So I am really excited and thankful for the support of Maryland Relay, one of our positive aging community champions, in supporting our discussions this month. And I'm even more excited that I'm not going to be the one talking about Maryland Relay today, that we've actually got Jenny Pearson from Maryland Relay to talk about all the wonderful things that Maryland Relay does. So Jenny, for those that aren't familiar with Maryland Relay or the Relay platforms in general, give us a little overview of the services that you all provide. And most of them, if not all of them, are free, correct?
That's correct. Thank you, Steve, for having me once again. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys. So yeah, you're right. Maryland Relay is a free public service for Maryland residents that have difficulty using a telephone. That could be as a result of difficulties with hearing, vision, speech, limited mobility, or cognition. And as part of our program, we are also able to supply equipment to those that might need it. So if someone needs more amplification or if they need a captioned telephone, we're happy to provide that at no cost if they qualify for our program.
I love it. And then I know you're busy. I see you in the community everywhere. So if you need to run, or even if you don't, make sure you drop your contact info into chat there so folks can reach out to you. And again, like one of the things is we oftentimes have people on these discussions outside the state of Maryland. Most states have a relay program. They might not have the same support that you have, correct?
That's correct, actually. And you know, it's funny, Steve, that you should bring that up because I am actually in the process of transitioning to a new role with Hamilton Relay, which is the provider for relay services in a number of states. So as such, I'm still doing outreach in Maryland, but I'll also be doing outreach in Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., and Massachusetts. So I know that you have a very broad reach with this group. And so I can, in a few weeks, I'll be prepared to answer all kinds of questions about those programs, but you're right. Each state has a relay service. They're not all the same. They are all free though. And some of them have an equipment program, some do not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much. And we will see you soon. I think actually you may be joining us tomorrow too.
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Okay, excellent.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen here. And as I mentioned, this is recorded today. So, and that recording will be up here over on this side that says on demand recordings on our website this afternoon. And you can see our upcoming conversations. You can order copies of Sourcebook. You can search for other champions. We have 2 more discussions this week. This week is jam-packed. Tomorrow we're going to be talking with the author of the Hospital Discharge Handbook. So that's going to be a great discussion. And then I'm really looking forward to, I can't believe that we haven't done a discussion on understanding senior living community contracts. And that's going to be on Friday. So join us for those. And that leads me to our discussion today, and which is all about innovation. And for those of you who are wondering why we're doing this event at 11 o'clock and not noon like we normally do, it's because one of our panel members has a really cool concept in Louisville to share with us. That's Joel Shapira. And then our other panel member is Mark Evin with Jintronix. And I'd like to welcome them to the stage. Let's get to know them a little bit better. And then we'll kind of tell you what our plan is for today. So first off, welcome, Joel and Mark. And Joel, you're in Louisville. You hail from Chicago. And Mark, you're in Canada. Where in Canada are you?
I'm from Montreal, Quebec.
This is great. And I'm in Washington, D.C. So we're all on the East Coast, but we're in definitely, this is a great benefit of innovation and technology, that's for sure. So we're going to dive into what each of you do a little bit, but Joel, let me start with you because you actually introduced me to Mark. Tell folks a little bit about yourself, and then Mark, I'll have you do the same, and then we'll dive into both of your what you have to offer. So Joel, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Excellent. Thanks, Steve. I'm so happy to be with you in the community today. And just very excited to show off a number of things, and I'm live from Louisville, and I'll talk about that in a minute. My role is I've been in the technology world for about 25 years, and about a dozen years ago, I got really interested in the intersection of technology and longevity and aging and home care. And I'm particularly interested in how technology is going to support people to live longer, better in senior living, in their homes, in their communities. And we are just at the crux that there's so many exciting things happening in the world today that are going to make living longer a lot better experience. And so we're going to highlight a couple things today, and there's a lot happening. So my role is as a business consultant for a number of companies that are trying to take their innovations not only to senior living, but to where people are in their homes and communities. And that's how I got connected to Mark. So I'm really excited that he's joining us today too.
Yeah, and I'm really and Mark, so tell us a little bit about, I've actually used your technology and I love it. And but tell us a little bit about your background and who you are, and then we're going to dive into a demo on this innovative technology that you've created.
Okay, sounds good. First of all, awesome to be here. I'm excited to show the technology, answer questions, and talk all about it. So I'm Mark Evin. I'm the CEO of the company Jintronix. We've been around for about 10 years, developing interactive technology for rehabilitation, therapy, healthy aging. I come from a multimedia programming background. Before I got into the rehab space, I was developing interactive installations for museums and science centers. And for me, it's always been finding ways using technology to engage, inspire people in different ways. I came into this project actually working first with kids with developmental coordination disorder, and then going from there. And since then, we've really expanded to rehab and healthy aging and so forth. So yeah, excited to tell more.
Okay, this is great. So here's our game plan today, folks, is, as you can see, Joel's in this unique space here. First, we're going to learn about where he's at and what this Thrive Center, which actually here I've got, I'm going to make sure that I can bring up that website shortly here, but we're going to learn and tour Thrive Center briefly. There's a lot there, but then we're going to switch gears, and then we're going to see a lot of technology and a unique approach, and then we're going to switch gears. We're going to go back to Mark, and we're going to learn about his product and get a demo of that product. And the whole time you can interact and with us by typing and asking questions. So Mark, if you want to duck behind the curtain, we'll focus on Joel, and then I'll be calling you up there shortly, and then we'll get the demo. All right. So first off, and for Josephine, yeah, just recognize Mark is going to try to keep his camera as stable as possible, but because he's going to be moving around this Thrive Center, which I want to bring up the their website here. Joel, while I've got the website up, do you want to tell us a little bit about this Thrive Center that you're in?
Absolutely, Steve. So I'm really excited, and thanks for letting me live out my dream of being an on-site correspondent, right? I've always wanted to be able to say I'm live on the scene here. So yes, I will do my best to keep the laptop. I'm literally carrying a laptop around, so I'll do my best to keep the camera steady, but I do want to be able to literally take you on a walking tour. And so today I'm in the actual Thrive Center, which is a physical place in downtown Louisville that was put together, started about a half dozen years ago, and took shape really as a formal body around 2018. And it is a showcase center. It is a place for companies that have innovative technology to support older adults and senior living. It's a place to be able to go and experience it and actually see how it works and touch and feel it, and have events where people can learn more about it and learn about how to bring it into their organizations. So I'm actually standing in the office of the executive director. Steve just put the link to Sherry's bio, and we're actually going to say hello to Sherry and let her introduce it. So I'm going to actually walk from her office into the main center of the Thrive Center. And when we're done talking, you'll start to get a feel for the physical space itself. And we're actually headed now, walking towards what you saw in the main screen with the kitchen center. Here, Sherry, why don't you come step up? I'm happy to introduce Sherry Rose, who's the executive director of the Thrive Center and is based here in Louisville. So with Sherry, do you want to just introduce yourself? And
yeah, absolutely. So I'm the co-founder and CEO and executive director of the Thrive Center. So you are actually live at Thrive. So we're going to walk a little bit through the center, and we can tell you as we walk what we do here at the Thrive Innovation Center. So hopefully, I do a lot of virtual tours, so hopefully you don't get a little disoriented as we move the camera around. But over here to our left.
Okay, one thing that I want, if you guys can hear me.
yes.
When you're right in front of the computer, that's when your sound is the best. So try to keep that computer right there.
Will
Okay.
do. Will do.
All right. So if you're focused over here, you'll see more of the mobility area. And we tend to focus on mobility because that's really the spiral down of our older adults.
Oh,
We
hey,
have a lot of partnerships.
Sherry, if you don't mind, stand in front of, when you all are standing in front, we can still see, but when you're standing in front, that's when we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, great.
There,
So
perfect.
So in behind me is the mobility area where we have a lot of partnerships. We actually have a program here called Strive to Thrive, where we partner with Bellarmine University, which is a PT school here in town. So their faculty and students come over here, and we created a program where we assess with technologies that we have here if they're a fall risk. And then we run them through a program just to strengthen core body, to work with them on really preventative medicine of preventing falls. That's a $50 billion cost to the US healthcare system, which is a big focus for us. So you'll see lots of technologies here behind me. Virtual reality. We do a lot around virtual reality. We're now looking at that for pain management. Let's walk this way for a second because I want you to see one that we're now doing with Mind VR. And Mind VR has focused on all the activities of daily living. And so I want to show you how this works.
And I see my friend Charles D. Vermillion's company, Linked Senior there.
That's right, Steve. That's highlighted right here as well. They have a whole display, and it's right next to where the Mind VR one is. And we actually have someone testing out the Mind VR right now.
Yeah, so when you think about activities of daily living, we always look at technology and we always get asked about affordability of that technology and who's going to pay for it. When you can link it to therapy, then we look at reimbursements. And obviously for an OT or a PT to look at someone transitioning to home and how transitioning to home, you can test them on those activities of daily living. That's extremely important to our healthcare providers. So what Mind VR has done is transitioned into that therapeutic mode where through virtual reality, you're seeing all the ADLs and how they've incorporated that into a virtual environment. So think of in a therapy clinic, you may not have a home right there where you're testing them, but you can create through virtual reality that actual home. And then over here, we're talking about, this is music therapy. So we call it memory, music and memory. We've actually had OT students do their capstone project here and take it out into the community working with low-income seniors as well as memory care residents. So we mentored a student last semester, actually, she graduated in December of last year and got her doctorate in OT working with us. And then if we walk a little further, you're going to see what we call our wearables area. Lots of the wearable technologies for remote patient monitoring. Now CMS has reimbursement codes for remote patient monitoring, as well as the watches. You'll see TheoraCare, you'll see Boundary Care. That's for a lot of our older adults who may wander. And as they're wandering and that period of fog hits with Alzheimer's disease, we now have a way of connecting to them through geofencing and GPS to know where they are, and then also to correspond with them through two-way communications. So that's been an extremely important wearable device. And then we all look at these older life alert buttons, and this is one.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It looks like a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
She was a New York jeweler, so there's a button on the back that when you press it, it's 24/7 contact to a help desk. And so what really happens is we have an opportunity to negotiate on behalf of that caregiver that walks into the Thrive Center to say, hey, will you give them a Thrive discount? We are a nonprofit innovation center, and we were created because of where do you go to see innovation in aging? And that's why we co-founded and created this space where it's an opportunity now for, we have geriatricians who bring their patients in here, caregivers who are caring for someone in the home who come through here, and they see what are the possibilities of maintaining their independence and keeping them at home. We see cares going to the home, and that's why the focal point of the Thrive Center is the smart home, and you'll see a lot of smart home technologies inside our smart.
If you guys don't mind walking over there to the kitchen and the home area, and while you're doing that, Sherry, this is amazing that it's in Louisville, but every city needs something like this. Is there a potential that you're, are you mentoring people to create similar centers in other areas, or is there a vision for that?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I have a vision of how could you have like mini Thrive centers regionally, where you don't have to come to Louisville. However, Louisville is really considered that Midwest. Some people call it the South, some say the Midwest. Joel's from Chicago. He may not think this is Midwest, but we're within 2/3 of the population driving distance from Louisville. And that's hard to believe when you look at the US, but we are, which is why UPS headquarters is here as well. But we get asked all the time if we would build out these Thrive centers. And I've had a lot of organizations come into town that will say, hey, how can we recreate maybe a dementia-friendly community? AARP is also interested in what we're doing. And as we're showcasing technologies, could they also train older adults to drive adoption of these technologies?
I love it.
Training is one of the issues on, well, how do I use this device? So in the smart home, it's a functional smart home. The kitchen is an induction cooktop. But if you don't want to change out your appliances, we have what we call the iGuard solution, that if you walk away from the stove, it will shut down the stove if it's electric or gas. That's a huge issue for older adults who have some dementia. And then if you turn around, you're going to see the robotic pets that get adopted into a lot of memory care units. This is Joy for All. This is Intuition Robotics, LEQ. And she's going to come on and probably talk to us. LEQ, tell us the joke of the day. Hi, LEQ. What's the joke of the day? LEQ? What's the joke of the day?
Two wrongs don't make a right, but two rights did make an airplane.
Okay, a little chuckle there from
That one was
LQ.
hilarious. Want to hear another?
No, thank you, LEQ. Stop. What we're using a lot of robotics in the home now for loneliness and isolation. And, you know, I was gone for a week and I came walking through here and LEQ said, hello, Thrive. I missed you. Where have you been? And so it's proactive to engage that older adult to maybe get up, do some trivia, or also do exercises.
Sherry, can you talk a little bit about the use of voice technology, since that's really something that's come on over the last couple of years?
Yes, you know, we talk about that all the time in here because we have a lot. Let me pause LEQ here. So we have a lot of older adults who are really fearful of voice technology simply because, well, they're listening into my conversations. And what I always point out is if you were vision impaired or you had any kind of disability, that voice assistant may be your access to the outside world. And so it really gives us a different perspective. And so we use voice technology to ask to maybe call our son or daughter or to turn on the lights. Alexa, turn the lights on in the living room.
Okay.
So you see the lights come on. It can also be used to turn the thermostat up or down. And so there are a lot of uses for voice assistants, whether it's Google, whether it's Alexa. Today, we have a large event here with CDW. And so we have some entrepreneurs on site. Ava is one of those entrepreneurs. And through an Alexa device, it's going to, based on the command, drive that command to the right center here within senior living. So it could be, I need my pain meds, could go to the nurse's station, or I need to get up and go to the bathroom. We'll go to a CNA who gets the alert and can say, just hold on, I'll be there in about 5 minutes. Or it could go to dietary if they say, I didn't get my soup with my sandwich. So think about staffing shortages and how important that is to senior living, where you're able to, based on the command of that resident, get the command to the right department to where it's driving productivity. And that's always key for the staff of senior living where they have shortages. Wow. So that's another use of how we're using voice assistants.
Well, I tell you, this is absolutely amazing. And I'm going to make sure I've got the links to all of these companies that are featured there and products that are featured there that I'm going to share on our recording page so that people can check them out. But I'm so glad that we got to visually see this. And this is so important. And I love how you've put it together, because as new technology and new innovation comes in, it's so easy to add them to these spaces that you have there, as opposed to sort of creating a demo home that might be more permanent in the installations, whereas you can, and it sounds like you're continually adding new technology and new innovations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the smart home is the focal point, but around it is where we take technologies and we build programs. So we have older adults come in here like our Strive to Thrive, and they get to immerse themselves in the technologies. You know, the one thing I know quickly, do you want to see the smart toilet seat?
Yeah, let's go over there, and then we've got to get to the Jintronix technology that we're going to be featuring today.
So as we're aging at home, This is what we call a smart toilet seat, and it has an optical wave. And what they are able to do is to detect UTIs, colorectal cancer, dehydration, could even be spilling ketones. And so they're looking at that changing condition for that adult who may be trying to age at home or stay in independent living or assisted living, and to catch them before they present with maybe confusion or a fall. And so these are the type of smart technologies that you'll see here in the Thrive Center. They will actually be on site today for our event. And who would have thought years ago that we would have a smart toilet seat?
Yeah. And
That could
that's
detect.
Toy Labs. Is that Toy Labs?
It is.
Okay,
Truly.
I provided the link in the in there. This is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And oh, I love the mirror there.
Sense of the smart mirror.
Yeah, the smart mirror, some grab bar installations. Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. So, all right, well, thank you. And we're gonna, Joel, if you wanna, I'm gonna switch over to Mark, and but I'm gonna have all the links so that folks can get in touch with you and learn more about the Thrive Center.
And I'm happy to come back at the end if there's anything else or any questions that people
Oh, that
want to
would be
see when we
great.
do.
That would be fantastic.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Okay,
you.
you bet. All right. Well, this was, whoops, this was fantastic. There I am. Okay. All right. That was pretty cool, huh, Mark?
Awesome. That was really inspiring to see
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
different things there.
So, okay, so we got to see one sort of a collective of innovation there in Louisville, and a bunch of really innovative products, and really gives us all hope for older adults and for everyone in general that this technology is being created. But now we're going to dive in and talk to Mark, who he had mentioned is with Jintronix. And let me just share my screen real quick, and I'm going to drop his, there's that toilet seat. I shared that link with you all. And here's the Thrive Center. And then where are we? Boy, I had the Jintronix pulled right up there, but let me get it up. Well, here, I'll pull that up. Let's get to you talking about the this technology. You had mentioned you were working with young children and you created this technology, and then it morphed into helping older adults and helping in rehab. So tell us a little bit about the technology that you've got there, Mark.
Absolutely. But before I start, I just wanted to give a quick shout out. Today is a special day, November 2nd, 2022. It is my grandmother's 102nd birthday today. So pretty exciting. And I always, whenever I visit her, I say, you know what year it is, huh? And she says, what year? I said, it's 2022. And she's like, what? Can't believe it, but anyway, but her sense of humor, that is the key thing. That is that longevity for her. Anyway, I'm here, CEO of Jintronix. I'm really excited to share what we're working on. I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen. I'm going to describe the program briefly, and then I'll go in and I'm going to show the program in action so you can see it. I'm going to get up there, do some exercising for you guys, and you can see what this is all about. But this is an interactive strength and balance program for healthy aging. As I'm sure a lot of you know, there's been some really tremendous advances over the last few decades around exercise protocols, what's working around fall prevention, around strength and balance. And we have some, for example, the Otago fall prevention program has been shown to reduce falls by about 35%. Tai Chi, moving for better balance, has been shown to reduce falls by up to 55%. But the biggest challenge that we're finding is that still up to today, the falls are still a significant problem. And exercise adherence, engaging in your exercise, performing your exercises at a rate that really is going to make a difference. That has been shown to be the biggest challenge at this point. And good healthcare is about, partly about decoding the machine that is the human body and really finding, well, what works and what are the key elements that's going to make this successful. But another piece is really deeply understanding humans on a human level, understanding what motivates people as human beings. And I think that that's a really key element that we've focused on as a company, working with clinical advisory team, developing our tools, but also really engaging with people as humans and really trying to understand what's going to make them move, what are they inspired by, what's going to make them get up and make some changes in their wellness routine. So what we've done, so we developed our main program over the last 10 years, and over the last 2 years, we basically took the same concept of gamified strength and balance rehabilitation exercises, and we've taken that and brought it to a new form factor, a new type of technology. We turned it into something that people can simply download onto their own laptops, onto their own iPads. It uses motion sensing interactivity that you're going to see in a few moments, but it does that all using the web camera itself. So when it comes to looking at innovation, there's the people think of ROI, return on investment, and there are two pieces to that. One is the return, how much benefit that you're going to get, and then there's the investment, how much is going to cost, what is the effort, what is the outlay to really get that benefit. And what we wanted to do is work on both sides. But one thing that's really interesting with the new technology that we're excited to show today is really bringing that investment way, 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 way down. If you want something that's going to really take off in people's homes, it has to be super low cost. It has to be easy to set up. And that's really something that we took really deeply to heart. So this is a tool, this is a software that you basically just downloaded. If you're interested, in 15 minutes, you can be up and running with the program. I should also mention before I give the demo that we're currently in a free trial stage. So over the next few months, if you're interested in trialing this program, it would be my pleasure you can go to our website. We'll drop the link there in the chat. Fill out the form and take a look at what we're doing and try it out yourself. So with that in mind, I'm going to go and turn it over to the program itself. So let's do it. So I'm going to go and jump straight into the program. So by the way, Steve, just let me know if you see the screen there. I'm sharing my screen here.
Yep, it looks really good.
Okay, great. Just want to check. Yeah, perfect. Just a second here. All right, we are back. So this is after you've logged in. You log in with your credentials. You're all set to go. You have your goal for the week. You could set your goal. You have your agenda for the week also, and your history of your progress. And when you want to go and press play, you go over here. These are the activities we have. Now, we've created video game experiences, but I really want to emphasize that this is not just any type of video game. We really wanted to create games that resonate with the people that we're looking to touch. We've done deep research trying to understand, well, what is it that makes you tick? What are you inspired by? And world travel came, and exploration, the exploration mindset, going places, learning new things. And we really took our program and kind of combined it all. Evidence-based strength and balance, world travel experiences, and obviously the gamification element of it. So we got ski the Italian Alps using weight shifting and squatting, Thai rock climbing, sidestepping and reaching, Tour de France, marching in place. Let me start with the ski the Alps. So I'm going to kind of jump in there right away. It's got to clear the ice first, as you can see. We're going to load up this game, and I'm going to get in front of the program and do some slalom for you guys. Now, each game has a video to give you the instructions, but I'm going to skip those videos because I'm going to walk you through it. But I'm going to go ahead and stand up and move back. And as you can see here, I'm on the screen there, and you can see those white lines. That's what's tracking my body. So I'm gonna stand up. I'm about 4 feet back. I'm really about 3.5 feet in front of the program here. And you can see it gets me primed up. So this is my personal best. Gives me a little challenge. So in this program, you're always competing against yourself. And here I am. I am in the, I'm gonna actually turn up the sound.
Try to aim for as many stars as possible.
Okay. So here I am. I'm weight shifting now, and I'm in these slalom experiences. As I shift my weight to the right, the spear moves to the right. As I shift to the left, the spear goes to the left.
Remember to tuck your pelvis and engage your
All
core.
right, we got some instructions from our coach on the screen.
Squat.
We got a squat, so now I'm squatting underneath these tree branches. Another squat coming up, so I'm squatting. You can see at the bottom right. And here I am. Now I'm in the blades now, so I gotta go around these trees and kind of navigate around these guys using my weight shift. So there's reaction time, there's strength, there's balance, and there's choice too. So we actually created in all our programs to continue with as real life experience as possible. So we created a true to life Italian Alps ski resort with the Dolomite Mountains. You can see those big jutting rocks that's very characteristic of this region of the Alps. And here I am skiing sort of in between the areas, and there's also mining tunnels. So I think there might be one coming up. Yep, here comes the little tunnels. That's also very characteristic of the Italian Alp experience. So here I am navigating around in these rocks. And so if you give me a little feedback as I'm going. And there's also feedback. So let's say I'm squatting, I don't squat quite deep enough. Oof. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. But I think the tree took it harder than I did, so I'm gonna go for that one. But here we go. So that's the Alp environment. There's all kinds of different runs you can take. No 2 runs are gonna be the same. There's all kinds of different paths, narrow tree-lined areas, blades, open bowl areas, slalom. And you're always seeing your personal best, how you're doing, and comparing it to your personal best. And it's a really core strength, core balance exercise of weight shifting. And so that's basically this particular game. I'm going to pause for a moment here and come out of it. I'm going to pause. I'm going to finish the activity.
Click on the number that corresponds to your level of exertion.
Okay, so after each activity, it asks you to rate your exertion, and this is how the program is customized to your level. So let's say I rate the program as, let's say I rate it as around, very hard. I'm going to put it at 7 here.
Got it.
So it says we'll make it a bit easier next time. So after each game, it's asking you, what's your exertion like? How you feeling? And then based on that, the program's going to adjust. So next time I play, it'll be a little bit easier. It'll go a little slower. There'll be a bit less depth of squats and so forth. So that's basically the first element I wanted to show. I'm going to pull up some elements in the chat to see if there's anything there. Okay, yeah. So Kathleen had a question. So I'm going to go ahead and answer that question. So she says, I don't play games because I don't understand games. I'm confused about what is needed or what happens that the movements of the person looking at the screen are tracked. How does that happen? Okay, great question, Kathleen. Basically, the character on the screen is moving according to your movements. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna do this slowly with the rock climbing game, and you're gonna see how it all works, and I'll kind of walk through that element as we go. So here we go. We're gonna go into the rock climb, and this is the rock climbing in Thailand. You can see the sort of rainforest environment. So basically, the first thing I wanted to show is you see this camera feed, and you can see the white lines on my body. This is basically that my web camera is seeing my body, and then it's able to, using really advanced technology, just able to quickly infer where the joints are in my body. So I don't need to hold any controller. I don't need to type on any keyboard. I basically just stand in front of my laptop or tablet, and the program is automatically tracking at 30 frames per second about 15 joints on my body. Okay, so that's the input. That's the input into the game. Now I'm going to stand up into the position, and then the program
Great.
itself.
Now hold still.
I'll show you in the program. So here I am. I'm about to start. It's going to prime me up a little bit with my personal best. No, Kathleen, you do not need a special web camera. So any web camera will do. That's what makes this the beauty of this program. So you can see here I am at the bottom right, and you can see I'm going to lift my right arm. You're going to see the character lifts his right arm. I lift my left arm, character lifts his left arm. So the character is moving according to my movement, but it's creating, the game creates a context for me to not just do repetitions and sidestepping. Now I'm actually have a mission, I have a goal, I have something that I want to strive towards. So what do I want to do now? I want to get up this mountain. So now I'm sidestepping, and as I step to the right, the character steps to the right. As I step to the left, the guy steps to the left. And here I am, and you do not need any
Collect as many stars as you can.
Download this onto your own tablet or laptop, and you are off to the races. And here I am, sidestepping to the right, sidestepping to
Reach
the left.
up.
And here I am. So for example, here I am. It says climb up the ladders. I'm standing here. So what do I want to do? Intuitively, I know what to do. I want to reach. And so basically, the next question I got here is, how do you know which movements to make? So there's two things. First, each game I didn't show, each game has a very clear introductory tutorial video that clearly explains you're going to be in a rock climbing environment. You're going to be sidestepping. As you're sidestepping, the character is going to be moving according to your movement, and you're going to be sidestepping your way up the mountain, and you're going to be reaching to climb the ladders. So it provides those instructions at the beginning, and then the game itself. So if I'm standing here and it says I'm in front of the ladder, intuitively I know I want to reach up with my arms to climb this ladder. So here I am. Now here I'm climbing a ladder and sidestepping. Here I am climbing even more, and I continue on my way. That's basically, that's sort of the elements of really bringing exercise into a more cognitive, stimulating. So one thing I should also mention is, in terms of the experience, is that what you're seeing right now is I'm sharing my screen. So I'm sharing my screen, so it might look a little choppy for people watching it. That's something to note. But when you're engaging in the program itself, it's actually very smooth, and you slowly see your way go up the way through the program. So that's basically the second program that I would show you. And I'm going to pause over here for a second, and I'm going to finish this activity.
Click on the number that corresponds to your level of exertion.
And I'm going to put here, for example, somewhat hard.
Got it.
And it says, thanks for playing. So this is an idea of, gives you a little bit of, that we're kind of aiming for exertion levels of 4 to 5. So that's basically the area that you're looking at. And before I show the last program, you can click into each person, each participant in the program. Each user has their own stats. So they could see, for example, their strength and balance score, for example, and then they see their progress in terms of their week, this week, their weekly average, their specific trend. A lot of people, when it comes to engagement, we've done a lot of deep research and surveys and interviews to understand, well, what is it that make people engage? What pushes people to want to continue on a specific habit or drop a habit? And there are some people that are interested in the experience for its own sake. Like, I just enjoy skiing the Alps, and I like to do that. That's something I want to do. Some people are interested in more on the score side of things. So as they're playing the games, they like to see how is their trend? Are they improving? Are they not? What's their average like? So they really are more on that competitive side of things. And that's really where these stats come into play. You can see your upper body, arm raises, lateral extensions. You can see the specific scores, how you're doing. You can go and take a look at your trend over time. Lower body, so the distance sidestep. So for example, as I'm navigating up this rock wall, It's actually tracking how many feet I'm walking, and you can see my weekly average, how I've been doing this week, and what comes next on that side of things. So the question that I got from Kathleen is, does the program take into account age, for instance, total joint replacements or other issues that may impact the ability to do the exercises? So right now, it's basically, we try to take as little information as possible to be able to, Steve had indicated that he'd like to answer this question. So I'll let Steve jump in if you'd like.
Oh, no, I was just clearing the deck for you. I apologize. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no problem. So yeah, basically it just it takes you need your name and your email address to get on this program, and then we work with our specific. We have healthcare partners we work with. We have aging in place experts, consultants that we work with who find people who are good potential candidates for this program. And usually the tracking right now, we're leaving it pretty light right now because it's still on a free trial basis, and we're still tweaking and improving the program. We're adding several new games that we're going to have by the end of the year. So still lots on that side of things. So yeah, I'm going to go back. Any other questions or feedback, or Steve, anything that comes to mind on your side as you're looking at the program?
Yeah, no, I've tried this and I've shared it with some others. And, I think it's important as we look at technology to recognize that, one size does not fit all. And that's one of the beauties of having a wide variety of technology is that it's, for some people, this may be not appealing, but for other people, it might be. And that I think, as Mark said, that anything that can get people motivated and active and it's easy to use can be a plus. But it's with programs like this, I sort of say, there's some people that like going to gyms. There's some people that like, exercising at home, and there's some people that need to sort of experiment, and that's where a platform like this is pretty cool. And anyways, so good. Let's see, when new games are added, Bonnie asks, when new games are added, are they automatically added to the platform? So I imagine you'll get you'll have different sort of scenarios or worlds that people can exercise in, correct?
Yeah, so basically on the question of new programs added, so the program is automatically updates itself. So we put out updates every few weeks actually, and everyone who's on the program automatically gets the new update. There's absolutely nothing they need to do in order to get access to those programs. Or right now, everybody is getting access to all the programs as soon as they're ready.
And this works on all PCs, on Mac or a standard PC?
Yeah, so it works on all Macs, all PCs, Windows PCs, and iPads as well. There's no cost right now to get access to this program for the next couple of months. So the link that Steve shared,
yep,
yeah, the free trial link, just go to that link, fill out the form to request the free trial, and we'll get you started on the program. If you'd like to invite other people to the program, we can set you up on that aspect. So I'm happy to start a conversation on that aspect. And Martha had a question: how do 0 raises lead to improvement for the week? So I went back and took a look here. So this is knee raises this week, 0 raises, weekly average 255 raises. So how does that lead to 82% improvement? So this is a trend over several weeks. So over several weeks, it basically trends the several weeks. So I haven't done anything this week, but on the average over the last 4 weeks, I've trended upwards. So that's to answer that question. That's basically how how that piece works. So yeah,
great.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is fantastic demo, Mark, and make sure that you drop your contact info in. I will make sure to share it with everybody. I've worked with you, and we're really excited to showcase this technology now and offer it to our audience for free. And you're very responsive, and you want feedback. Like Mark's at a stage now as an entrepreneur and a business development person where he wants feedback from you all, which is why he's offering it for free. So by all means, you can reach out to him with your more detailed questions or suggestions, things of that nature. And then, is this similar to the technology that you offer that, like, this is sort of your entry into an accessible at-home technology, but you work with a wide variety of senior living communities and rehab centers, correct?
Yeah, so our flagship program that we've been developing over 10 years, that's same fundamental concept, but the equipment is different. It uses a special 3D sensor. There was a question about using this in a group setting. So that program, our other technology.
Uh-oh. Mark froze up on us. Okay, he'll probably pop back on again here shortly. Let's see if Joel, if you're in the audience there.
I am, Steve.
Okay, great. While
Yeah.
we're waiting for Mark to pop back on, that was pretty cool.
It's really fun, and Mark's vision of how to take technology and capabilities that he's done in a skilled nursing environment for over 10 years, and his passion was really around how to make it more accessible to people in their homes and to reach a wider audience. And that's really an overall theme. That's something I'm passionate about, as you know, Steve, that so often the innovation gets pigeonholed within certain environments, within perhaps congregate living settings or rehab facilities. And so much of what we're seeing, particularly over the last couple of years, we've seen, we're already under development, but they've been accelerated during the pandemic, is how do we bring that innovation and that technology to where people are? And that's in their homes and in their communities. And what Mark's doing with the Jintronix and the JinHome product in particular is taking that technology and innovation and meeting people where they are.
Yeah, I love it. And I know somebody commented that they don't like video games, and I want to share something I shared this with Mark because I demoed his product, is that when I first learned about this, I was like, oh, wow. I don't like video games either, but I play a video game in the winter months from October to March because I can't ride my bike outside in the dark or at night. And it's called Zwift, and some of you may be familiar with it. I hook up this smart bike, and I ride. The last night I rode 16 miles in France with 1,000 other people on bicycles, and you get little badges and things like that. And so I'm not a video game person, but I'm totally sold on these platforms that make exercise and make doing something more fun through technology and games. But it's not for everybody. But if we can make it accessible, the population that is able to sort of embrace it and get motivated, it can make things really exciting.
I think the pandemic showed, Steve, that we have to be more creative and imaginative about extending beyond our four walls to connect to other people and other opportunities. And that's just what you're describing.
Yeah, and Kathleen, she jumped in and said, it's not that I don't like games, it's that I've never used them and I don't understand how video games work. And that's one of these things, like one of the cool things about the way Mark's designing this, as you can see, is that it's something that you can stand in front of, and the camera on your TV or your computer is detecting things, and all of a sudden you're doing this exercise, and hopefully what we want is that this doesn't even feel like it's a game. It's just, hey, this is how I exercise, or this is how I do these various things. So and it's seamless as well. Oh, Laura says provide information on Zwift. Yeah, I'll put Zwift's website on there, and if you have questions about Zwift, definitely feel free to reach out to me. It is a very interesting website, and it's primarily competitive cyclists use it, but it's becoming more mainstream. Okay, so I'll just leave. It's like Peloton, but you get to actually ride your own bike on a specific trainer. Okay, and let's see. Well, holy cow! Looking at the clock, an hour has gone by already. I hope people appreciate the way that we tried to format this, and Joel, I'm blown away at that Thrive Center there. It's actually a bit mind-blowing, and this is something that we really need to have centers like that all over the country. But I can see where it's well worth somebody who's close to Louisville or is really interested in this and making a trip there. And this afternoon you're there because there's a conference being held there, correct?
There's an event where we're bringing in a number of operators of senior living organizations that are going to get a firsthand experience and an event built around over the next 24 hours. So yeah, I mean, there's no question that innovation and technology, there's a component of touching and feeling it and actually experiencing it, gives people a new awareness and acceptance. And I run in a lot of times to people saying, if I only knew that existed, if I only knew that was out there. I think we see a lot of the technology exists, it's just not accessible and distributed widely enough. And so that's what the Thrive Center is really designed to address.
Yeah, and that's, folks, today was all about introducing two technologies that you might not be aware of, and some of the people behind it. So Mark, I commend you on your efforts in this area. I know as an entrepreneur, it's not easy. And when I look at how seamless you've created this technology, it's mind-blowing. And I hope a few of our audience members or people listening to this recording will jump in and give you some feedback. And then we're going to have you back to see the next version and iteration of what you've created. So and
awesome,
and
it's
make
been
sure
great.
you tell
it's
your
been really fun.
Make sure you tell your grandmother happy birthday from all of us too.
Absolutely I will.
So all right, folks. Well, again, I want to thank our audience for their questions. Again, it really makes it special and great and meaningful to be able to organize these forums and let people interact with the panel members the way they do. So, Joel, have a great conference.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks again, and I know we cut you short on your bike ride, but you can get out there and do a bike ride too on your platform. All right, we'll see everybody at the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.